Welcome to the Side Action Podcast, the sports gambling show that covers everything in the world of sports betting from A through Z. We'll cover the four major sports, as well as anything and everything in between worth some action, and will increase the size of your bankroll. And here we go.
All right, welcome to the Side Action, episode 26 of season 6. My name is Jim Weglars, a.k.a. Wegs. You can follow me on X, look at that, at Wegspool, and also on Instagram at Wegspool.
Yeah, well, we'll get to the point where we don't have to acknowledge that we did it right. And that's when we know we've made it to the big, that's big J
At least I didn't
journalism.
screw up my lips, you know,
Right?
my flubbing.
You're flubbing. Okay, anyway, and I'm Coop. You can check me on Instagram at Dalton Cooper, on X at Mr. Grumpy Gills. Again, we are the Side Action Podcast, and it's only a matter of time until we have our EMS folks making a shout out and a stop by on the podcast
it's
as
a
well.
weekly occurrence.
So, how's it been?
It's not great. I mean, we saw you last night. We had fun.
Yeah.
We missed you at the Victor's part, but I only had 2 12-hour days this week.
Okay.
It's an improvement.
Yeah.
I mean, I did leave early to see you fucks, but yeah, I mean, Monday wasn't a full 12-hour day, thankfully, but Tuesday and Wednesday were, and then I left the office at 6 to have that date, and then met you guys out for National Margarita Day. That was nice. I missed somebody left.
We were on time, unlike somebody else that you said. So
Well, I was busy.
yeah,
I was trying to make some connections.
right.
She was lovely.
Yeah,
She was lovely.
great time.
We'll see. You know, the roster's it's almost spring training. As you know, the pitchers and catchers reported spring training, as you know, last week.
I'm sure they did.
Now it's time for the roster churn.
Yeah, they were clubbed up, remember?
Yeah, of course they were.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about my roster.
Right.
I got to work on my roster here.
Okay.
So as I go to Hawaii,
Yeah, I was going to say the roster that you're leaving.
hey, we're going international, baby. I may have to change my preference as we've discussed, or maybe we haven't. But somebody mentioned that they're like, you might have to change your outlook
Your
on
view.
females.
Okay, really? Yeah, your view of the world, eh?
Yeah. So other than that, we did have a Wolfpack experience last week.
Yeah, we did.
It wasn't great on my part. I diverted us to a terrible location.
That's okay.
It wasn't terrible. It was just, disappointing.
It wasn't the right mood. The vibes were not in sync.
It was not.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, come over here. Whatever. You show up. The girl's not that into you. Her friends don't want to mess with my friends or mix. It was horrible. And then we went to a holiday club and it was dead. I mean, that was like a first in my life.
Yeah, 1 a.m. and there it's sitting room only.
Come on, what's going on?
It was interesting.
It was weird. So yeah, Sunday.
There's a sign, maybe.
Sunday did another date. She was okay. I did like the Chinese American New Year's parade. It was really good. Chinese. New Year's
You're the
parade.
Dragon. Yeah,
You're the Dragon. It was great. The Dragons were awesome. They were everywhere.
The Dragon.
And then then I haven't done shit the whole week.
Nice. Just been working.
Working.
Hell yeah. Been doing the old hammer.
The hammer?
The hammer workouts.
Yeah, I got to do one yesterday morning. Of course, I mean, the problem is when you work until 9, you're not,
Yeah, you're just
when
not
you work
in the
out.
mood. Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Because I'm like leaving the office at 6. You get back here around 7, eat something.
Yeah.
Got to finish some work. Yeah. I actually I did a workout before work yesterday.
Nice.
What do you know?
Okay.
But still doing get some push-ups in. Yeah. And then I'm playing volleyball twice this weekend. That's a little preview.
Saturday and Sunday?
I am.
Oh, wow.
5 hours.
You double dip it. Man, you're going to plenty of time to play, on the actual
That's what
beach.
everybody says that, but it depends on if I'm working a lot.
Well, you're going to be in a different time zone.
Right.
So that
That's
will help
true.
you.
Is it? I don't know. Maybe the light's longer at this point. It's not like Chicago summers, I think they have more of an equinox situation. Maybe sun comes up at 8 or 6, goes sunsets at 6. It's not like it's like really long like here.
Huh. I don't know. That's an interesting
Well,
question.
I'll tell you. I'll report when we report from Hawaii.
Let's do live reporting.
What about you, man? I've been doing all the talking.
I don't know. Nothing crazy. Oh, we did go play at Arts thing on Monday night at International or Intentional Sports or something like that. Really nice complex. It's like southwest side of the city.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
Is that a new thing for him?
I think so.
Because he used to do it
at
Margate, but not anymore.
Yeah, no. Well, that's what Pacheco was saying, was that if we could just take that place and move it to like Lincoln Square, that would be nice.
A little closer.
So, yeah, but that was Monday, and then Tuesday we had bowling. We got our asses kicked. We should have gotten taken to the shed, honestly.
Man.
But I won $800. So that was cool.
That's right. That's right. Okay.
Strike pot. Yeah.
Of course.
So that was fun. And then
you've been on a roll, man.
Yeah,
literally.
we've been like butter, right? And then I had dinner with one of my buddies, Caleb Sunshine, Wednesday night. Yeah, he looks just like Ronnie Bass from from the Road to the
Nice,
Titans.
the hair, yeah.
So we call him Sunshine. And then we had National Margarita Day yesterday. So
not bad, but you didn't go to Victor's. It's okay. You missed 2 very stiff drinks.
Yeah, very stiff.
Well, it was so
Did you
funny.
have a Manhattan or
I had that one. I had 2 different. I don't know what the hell drink it was called. Something fancy that had mezcal in it, and then I got.
Is that what it was called? Something fancy, probably.
I can't remember it. I can't remember the name of it. It was like they have cute names there. The other one was a penicillin. You ever had one of those? It's like scotch. It's scotch, lemon. It's actually really good for when you get a cold. It's not a hot toddy. It's cold, but it was good. So you cracked me up. So Nicole, Nicole and her, I'm not drunk enough shirt yesterday. Right. So she goes to this fancy, cocktail bar. She's more of like a margarita, whatever. She's a sweet kind of person. She looks at the list. She's like, I don't know what to get, and they make her a drink. And I'm not saying it was a bad drink. It looked fancy. She didn't like it. Send it back. These are $17 cocktails. Send it back. So then
sent it back.
Mm-hmm. Wait, I think actually Steph's finished it for her, and then she got another one, and she basically this is better. We're like, just drink the goddamn drink. I mean, if you want to get like a a slushy, like a frosé, it's the wrong place.
Like I said, we're not in the right place for that.
This is like a nice,
cocktail.
Upscale, they're shaking the stuff. They're doing their thing back there. So I'm sure she's not listening. But anyway.
Handcrafted. That's where the love is.
I didn't bring her to the shed, but she could have been in the shed.
Yeah, she's borderline shed.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the shed, you have plenty of people. Would you like to go first, taking your person to the shed? Your people?
I don't know. Do you think? Or do you think it would be better?
I'll go first. So I'll start. Obviously, it was All-Star Weekend last weekend. We didn't really report out on that because, nobody cares about the game. But you could have, maybe you could have bet on the 3-point contest or something. And speaking of that,
back-to-back, slam dunk champion.
There you go.
Yeah. This
time they had the WNBA stars against, anybody could have been in there, WNBA star or NBA star. And, you had Sabrina Ionescu.
Ionescu.
What is it?
Ionescu.
She's really good. Great shooter for the Liberty. Amazing shooter. She hits 26 points in her round.
27, I thought.
It was 27? Maybe it was.
Because I think Steph had 28,
She had 29. He beat her by a margin, but still, that's a lot of friggin' score. I mean, if you ever watch these 3-point contests, if you get to 20, 21, you're usually pretty good. She was raining it. She was amazing. And Kenny Smith is talking about how it's a WNBA ball and it's not the same. It's like, come on, Kenny. What are you, Bobby Riggs from the 70s? I mean, come on. Shooters can shoot. Give her the men's ball then. She'll probably make 28. Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I think she beat half the contestants in the 3-point contest.
Absolutely. So, she smoked everybody else. So, Kenny, welcome to the shed. You're a good guy normally, but get in there.
Yeah.
Let's learn something.
Yeah.
But you got plenty of room because we got to make a lot of room for a lot of teams here. Apparently, we've got Illinois, the Fighting Illini.
Yeah, they should.
My God. I mean, we've talked about how they actually were in the top 10 of Ken Palm last week when we reported. Were. And then they proceeded to lose, but they were up by 14 on the road at Penn State. Did you know at Penn State this game, they played in some gym. They play once every 4 years. It's like a smaller venue. It's a little tighter. And people said they should play there all the time, but not a lot of fans. Fans are on the court, but they were getting beat by 14. They're beating the Nittany Lions pretty good. They were up by 7 with 35 seconds to go and blew this friggin' game. How do you do that? And how do you foul a 3-point shooter? You can't foul a 3-point shooter with 1 second or 2 seconds. And the guy hit the 3 free throws. 90-89 win. Congratulations, Nittany Lions, who stink this year, by the way.
Yeah, they're not very good. Yeah, the Big Ten overall is not as great as it.
Good.
Yeah, the Mountain West Conference is one of the stiffer conferences this year. They're going to have 6 teams in the tournament. Yeah, but we'll talk about that, I'm sure, shortly.
Don't tell Action that. If he's listening, he hates the Mountain West. He purportedly hates them. He always bets against them in the first round because they've done pretty bad usually, but last year was
they just got to get the monkey off their back, and they did it. So, but we're gonna start with Justin Fields. We're taking the Bears to the shed. All the trade rumors flying around. Quote: he just wants the trade talks to be over with. So he's tired of it. We're tired of it here.
I'm tired of it too.
Everybody's talking about who the Bears are gonna take. Yeah. He apparently unfollowed a bunch of people on social media and started following other people on social media. So take that into account. I don't know if you saw this on Sunday night, but Rick Pitino. He's getting taken to the shed.
Oh, I heard it. I was going to probably put it in there, but I didn't come up with it.
Yeah, he got taken to the shed. He completely threw all of his players under the bus.
Totally.
calling most of them, several players of them were slow laterally and wow, words are hard, unathletic. Good God. Yeah. And in his time, this has been the most unenjoyable experience of his whole coaching career.
Why take the job?
Well, apparently he was saying this team wasn't constructed right. Like whoever had built this team didn't build it correctly.
So he didn't have.
So whoever the GM
of
St. John's.
That's him.
Right, that's what I know.
I know it's his first year, but you've seen other coaches in year one take over immediately.
Yeah,
I mean Deion Sanders.
Yeah,
I don't know when he was hired in the recruiting cycle, but let's face it, Rick, you're talking a lot of shit right now, and it's like, why can't you be like your son? He's Richard. He's doing a great job in New Mexico.
Yeah, they got the boys playing well.
And he's just like focusing, and maybe it's his second year there, but. You're not going to get a lot of recruits that are going to say, hey, let me go play for Rick Pitino now.
Yeah, and the way he's kind of going about it the wrong way. But he's also, I think, in a weird way, he's getting what he wants because all these players suck. So at the end of the year, they're going to transfer, and that's what he wants anyway because he wants a brand new team because he already thinks those players suck. So I guess in a way, he's getting what he wants. So we're definitely going to see what happens going forward. But at least for now, we're taking Rick Pitino.
Rick, go with Kenny. Get a snack. We've got some Lunchables for the shed people.
I don't know if you saw this last night, but a woman on the sidelines of the Dallas Mavericks game called Kevin Durant a bitch, like literally on camera. And then he was coming out of the tunnel and he stopped and he continued to talk with them. And then the guy was quoted that it was okay for him to say that because he hosts a podcast. So I felt like that man should be taken to the shed. It's also feel like something we would do.
We would call a guy a bitch and then just say we're on a podcast?
Yeah. It's for the pod. And then as soon as that happened, I guess Kevin turned away in the video. If anything, maybe we can edit it.
He was just trying to get his attention. Basically.
Something, yeah, but it was pretty...
We would not stoop to that level.
No, never. That is low level
heckling. We are true journalists.
Yes. We are like a classy heckler. Yeah. We're not like in the dumps heckler.
I may talk shit about this Rivers outfit, but I'm still gonna go.
Right. We're still gonna send it, So, and then we're also gonna play the University of Men's Basketball, yes. Miami. Yeah, the U got taken to the shed on Wednesday night.
A former Final Four team last year.
Yeah, and they've really fallen from the graces.
And I love Jim Larinaga. I love his coach.
Yeah, they got beat by almost 30. They got beat 55-84 by Duke. They had 31% shooting and 24% 3-point percent. So not a lot of good ways to win basketball games with those kind of percentages.
55 points doesn't win a lot of games unless you're playing Virginia.
Yeah, and that's every now and again, right? And then we're gonna end with AT&T. They got taken to the shed yesterday because they had a nationwide outage. In my Facebook
Carlo was talking about it. I'm not an AT&T guy.
I'm not an AT&T guy either. Verizon. So
we're not sponsored by them.
No, the American Telegraph and Telephone Company really let all us down.
Telegraph?
Yeah. So. Shout out to them. They got taken to the shed this week. They should get their shit fixed if they haven't yet already.
I don't understand how that works nowadays. Unless there's some,
We pay good money for the shit to work. That's all I'm saying.
Do.
Those people out there pay hard-earned money.
Isn't that, what's her name? The cute one.
No.
No.
What is the AT&T girl's name?
Yeah, I can see her face. Lily.
Lily, yeah. Nice.
Former ex-wife.
There we go.
Not that one, but maybe someday. Anyway, let's go. Clubbed Up. I always say that. I'm interviewing for the next ex-Mrs. Weglars. You know that.
Yes. Right.
Okay, so Club Dub, you've got a lengthy list. I will let you go first because mine's silly.
Nice.
So who are we letting in? This is we're gonna have to let some people out, or we're gonna have to put another level on this thing.
No, it's still an exclusive club. Don't worry.
There's 4 people. There's teams of people.
First of all, it's been almost a week.
Oh, okay.
There's been a lot of...
They're tired. They go home after a while?
There's a lot of dubs happening this week. Okay,
there's no question.
Yeah, so the first one we're starting with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yes.
They were in the shed a couple weeks ago, if you recall correctly.
Yeah,
so they really took my talk to heart. They really have been, getting Austin Matthews involved. That's for sure. So they dismantled Las Vegas last night. They beat them 7-3 to win their 6th straight.
7-3 in hockey. That's a beatdown.
That's a beatdown. That's a lot. I hope he took the over. Austin Matthews scored again. He's at 52 on the season in 56 games. We were discussing pre-pod that he is the youngest American-born player to score 50 goals in a season in NHL history, and you said he was the second. I think
it's the last time that somebody's done this in this short a period was Lemieux in '96.
Okay,
so this is amazing.
It's been 25 years, give or take, since that. So they're the last 70 goal season in the NHL was 92-93 season. So it's been a little over 30 years since that's been accomplished.
Yeah,
so
he can do it.
He's definitely on pace for it. We're also going to add Washington State, the Cougars. Yeah, they beat Arizona last night in Arizona. 77-74.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Wells added 27 points. Also had the 4-point play
I love
to
the
put
football.
Washington State up. I think they were down 3 and they ended up going up 1, and then obviously got the foul. They improved to 21-6 on the year. They're now number 1 in the Pac-12, which
they will be
they're dancing.
second team in the Pac-12 in the league, and that's in the tournament, and that's it.
That's it.
I don't think the Buffs are going to make it. I don't think Oregon's any good.
Do you think they're falling apart down the stretch? Get them out of here?
Well, I mean, like you said, the Mountain West is going to have 6. You're going to have other teams. There's other leagues that are pretty good.
Yeah, that's fair.
Good luck to you,
there's
Pac-12,
only 68, right? There's only 68 teams we can fit in there. So we're also going to add Jake Diebler to the list. Obviously, he was the intern coach named for Ohio State basketball. They actually upset number 2 Purdue on Sunday.
You know what this is called? You didn't like it during the football season.
Go ahead.
Dead cat bounce.
Yeah, the dead cat bounce. Yeah, it really is.
It
was. Yeah, but it's actually the funny thing was this is the second time since 1995 that a debut head coach has beaten a top 10 team.
Oh yeah, that's almost impossible.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it hasn't happened very often. So shout out to the Buckeyes. They haven't been very good this year, but hey, they beat Purdue. And everybody thought it was going to be like Purdue and UConn.
Everybody thought Purdue was a juggernaut.
Everybody thought it was going to be like Purdue, UConn in the finals, and now both teams have lost in the last week. So we'll definitely see what happens. There. Yeah, and then we're also going to add Creighton. Shout out to James Hedgington III. Sitting to my right, they actually ended. They ended UConn's 14-game win streak Tuesday night, 85-66, ass kicking.
They did.
They were up 14 at halftime. Never looked back. They shot over 50% from the field, and they shot 50% from the 3-point line.
Did you get to watch the game?
I watched the last 3 or 4 minutes. So
yeah, I watched the entire game because I was invested and I was working while I was doing it. And they came out. I guess we'll talk about it in a minute. They came out super slow. It was 11-2. They were getting beat. I was like, maybe that wasn't so good. And then they just got
You should have lied about it.
I should have lied better. There's no question.
Double down.
I was already invested.
Down. Yeah.
I was already invested. We'll talk about it in a minute. But yeah, they just stroking it, hitting the deep ones. It was awesome. So, well, my club dub is myself. Sorry, nice. I know it's weird to put ourselves in there. You should have been in there for the $800. But
okay.
Look, it's been a tough road for Jimmy Wegs. He's been working all day, all night. He hasn't been able to put up the article that Wegs Pool. Sorry, guys. I'll try to get one up this week because I know it's bubble time for the tournament. But I'm seeing the ball at least right now for the next week at least. And on Tuesday, I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I'm down on my luck. I don't have a lot of cash right now. Let me put up a little $25 action. Let's see what I can make with this. And first of all, Rivers. Shout out to Rivers. Sorry, on this side.
Other side.
Opposite. They gave me a free $50 bet.
Oh, nice.
I was like, okay, I'm going to put money on Creighton. I should have waited, like you said, but I know I did it. And then I put together 2 parlays, not 1, but 2, 4-legger and a 3-legger, and I picked all different stuff. I did some spreads, I did some totals, I did a money line. Bam, hit them both.
Nice.
Hit them both, baby.
Okay.
You turn that $25 into $260.
Hell yeah.
Bam, 10x. So
nice.
I give myself a little shout out just because, hey, finally, college basketball, thank you for making me feel good.
Yeah, this is what we're here for. This is March.
That's right. Almost. We're almost there. Actually, in a week.
In a week.
So, okay, let's talk about the stat of the week. I looked at this and I'm like, where's he coming up with this stuff?
Yeah, I have no idea. I was actually just Googling. And I thought this
stat of the week. How many
across.
total sports are played around the world? Wow. Well, I mean, you have to define sports, but my God, I have no idea. 400?
No, so it's actually, to answer your initial question, are 8,000.
8,000?
Yes. So there are 200 that are recognized by some international federation of sports or something. So there's 200 there. But do you also know how many are total in the Olympics?
So when you say sports, so you're saying, ice hockey, there's a women's and a men's. Is that considered to be 2 or that considered to be 1?
I think it's considered to be 1.
Okay. Olympics. 45.
There are 33.
Damn.
Yeah, you were close. That was a good guess. So I just thought it was interesting. I had no idea that, so there were over 8,000 in the world.
8,000?
Yeah.
I mean, the ones,
I have no
does
idea.
it include the slapping in the face contest?
Oh, yeah.
That's
real. Oh, yeah. The slap league?
Yeah,
those guys
that's a sport.
I saw one guy was getting he got slapped 3, and it was whole face was swelling up.
Doesn't he have what does he have, 10 seconds to get back in there?
No, they've got a minute, I think.
Oh, a minute?
I think they get a minute to reset, yeah. They get up to a minute, but I mean, some guys just get in there.
Wham!
And they're maniacs.
And then you've got, obviously, now do you think cornhole is a sport?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm not discounting it. I'm just saying it's a
horseshoes
game versus sport. It's a tough one.
Well, if it's on ESPN 8, it's a sport. So it's on the
It's
Ocho.
on the Ocho.
Yeah.
You said 8,000?
8,000.
That's a lot of friggin'
Yeah.
sports.
That's a lot of sponsorship dollars.
No, for sure. All right, well, let's jump into college hoops now. It's a lot shorter podcast now for all the people that were complaining about those long ones before. We'll focus honing in on college basketball. We've got March Madness. It's going to start in 4 weeks now, I think it is. And so we've got 1 week to March, and then it starts a little later this year. It's like March 21st or something like that.
Well, it's after St. Patty's Day.
It is. It's usually before. It's kind of weird.
That's tough.
Easter's early this
That
year.
would have
but
been
the
a great
tournament's
St.
late.
Patty's Day to be out and watching basketball.
Well, I've done it many a time, my friend.
Oh my God.
I love it. I used to go to spring training, and we'd go to spring training for that weekend. It'd be St. Patrick's Day and the opening of the tournament, and you're in Arizona soaking in the rays watching the games. It was a great experience.
Damn.
You should do it sometime.
Yeah.
So let's go over these picks. We did pretty damn good. I know that I marked most of them green. Some of them we were opposite sides, but we did it. We both like San Diego State in that first game on Friday, and they took care of business. They did what they needed to do against New Mexico. UConn. I know you didn't agree with me on this, but they did destroy. They destroyed Marquette. Poor Marquette, 81-53. Now that was at home.
It was tough.
Critical. So that was good for 7 points was the final spread on that one, and they covered easily. Kansas, they took care of business in Norman. I think you might have liked Oklahoma, but usually the road team doesn't win in any game in college basketball. But Kansas actually came to play. They were a 3.5 point favorite and won by 10 in Norman. Kind of a tough loss for the Sooners there. So that one, we split on that one, and we split on this one. This was your way. Kentucky, they did show up. They played well on the road. They won 70-59 against Auburn. So I didn't get this one. So they covered the +8 easily and won going away. But I don't know if you saw later this week. Did you see them play LSU?
Yeah, that was
oh
tough.
my God! But that finish was amazing.
That was tough.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Little alley-oop, little tip-in shot.
That's just.
You don't like that?
No, it's such a
That
broken
was awesome.
man. It was so bad.
He got blocked. So that was the second game. Kentucky goes to LSU. And the Kentucky guy finally plays some D. Two-handed block on the guy. Just gets it, throws it towards the rim. The guy tips it in at the buzzer. Bam. That was fun.
Win by
fun
one.
Stuff. Yeah. What are you going to do? South Florida. I told you. They're playing good, and they did. They were winning. Actually, they almost blew this game.
Yeah, I was going to say they did almost blow it.
They were up by 25 points against FAU, who is now kind of fallen in the ranks. Obviously, not just in the rankings like KenPom, but now they're kind of falling off. They probably should make the tournament still. They did come back in the game, and they got really close, but they lost 90-86. I like the Bulls, man. Yeah. South Florida, +5.5. They covered the money line in that one, so that was a good one. This was the only one that was kind of baffling. Houston, it depended on the number you had. I think it might have closed around 7.5, but we were talking about 8 last week. They pushed this one against Iowa State. It was like, come on, 8 points? That isn't a lot for that Houston team, though.
Yeah, and I think we did even say that too. The double-digit number, I think, is where it started when we even.
That's right. So it came down. And then Creighton, we just discussed that. You already put up some of this, shooting the lights out. They had 14-28. You said 50% from deep. And then BYU, man, this is amazing. BYU, they're good at home. They're 14-2 now at home. They played Baylor, who, again, on the rise. But, again, these teams can't win on the road in the Big 12. They won the game 78-71. And Ali Khalifa, did you see this guy? Yeah, he's kind of like a guy. You see him, he's a big guy.
Yeah, he's a jag.
He's just a guy. You see him he's at the park. He's at the Y. He's posting guys up. He's shooting threes. Hit 5 for 7 from the floor. He only took 7 shots, and he fucking got it done, man. Made 14 points, 7 assists, 7 boards. He was just kind of integral to their team. And that BYU team at home is really fun to watch. And in general, the Big 12, every night you watch games. There's competitive games every night.
Yeah, there's 5 ranked teams in the Big 12, I think,
right now.
At least. So
love it. Well, let's go over KenPom here. We've got the top 10. It hasn't changed that much at the top, but I will tell you. So Houston still stayed number 1 in the ratings, but Purdue actually dropped to 3 with their loss, and UConn was 2. But then they went right back to it when UConn got beat by Creighton. So it's still the same as last week. Purdue 2, UConn 3, and then Arizona jumped Auburn because of your Kentucky win. And Auburn's 5. Alabama, they're on the rise. They're on the rise. So they had some tough games too. Florida, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
They
ended
pulled
up it out in overtime.
They took overtime, but that team doesn't play defense. They score like 90 points a game, but they went up 1. Tennessee is down 1 now. Duke, watch out for the Dukies.
Yeah.
I've always kind of talk shit about the Dukies, but last year I was on Dukies, and they screwed me in the tournament. I mean, I really thought they're going to go deep. Tennessee manhandled them. I see a little edge right now. They won 5 straight since they played North Carolina. They're gearing up for the big rematch that's going to be in Durham this time.
Yeah.
So they've gone up 6 spots in KenPom. They're like a bullet. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, they were saying the ceiling for Duke was the Elite Eight, so which checks out because they're ranked 8th in even KenPom. So I was like, wow, really, someone really went out on a limb there to say that.
We'll see.
So,
I mean, now they're in the top. I think they're 21 on defensive efficiency. So if they play that kind of defense, then they got a chance. Iowa State, they're up 1. They're kind of up and down now, even though they lost to Houston. And then North Carolina they're not really up 1. That's a lie. I guess they've kind of fallen since we initially talked about them. They're at 10, but I think that they could be better. So, any teams you like in this grouping that you're getting excited, getting lathered up about?
Oh, lathered up! Oh man, if I was gonna put futures out to take on, Duke is obviously probably your best odds right now.
Yeah.
I really like Houston though. Houston plays the best defense in the country.
Could be their year.
So, just the way they grind out games, I feel like that's what you have to do in March, and that just suits kind of the style they want to play. So
I was looking at Final Four futures, and obviously the top teams here were in the mix. I was just kind of like, who would I take a chance on? You know what I mean? Because I think UConn's a pretty heavy favorite still for the title, and then you got Houston, Purdue in there. But maybe you can see a Duke, or I do like North Carolina. I think that they're an experienced team. Really curious to see when they play again.
Kentucky has the talent to do it, but can they put it together?
I will say, and we are going to talk about them, so maybe I'll save that comment for later. One of their guards is so good. Oh my God, he's a freshman. The guy, he can just score at will. Well, let's go over the game. So I didn't find a lot of games across the spectrum like I normally do. There's no Friday night action. If you're listening action, sorry, buddy. I know you love it. Thanks for the like out there. So the first game, Houston at Baylor, 11 a.m. Central. This is a huge game in the Big 12. We always have a Big 12 game on here. These are official spreads because I was able to look them up. So Houston's a 2.5-point favorite on the road, 136.5-point total. So it's pretty low total. Baylor's usually a scoring team. Houston's a tougher team, but they are at Baylor. We know it's tough to win on the road. What do you like in this game? It looks like you've got a Coop-lytics? Is that
yeah, 72% is what's leaning to Houston according to the analytics.
Okay.
But when you look at the teams, the biggest factors to like what you were talking about before is that Baylor averages 83 points a game. They only allow 71, while Houston only scores 74 but allows 55.
Right.
So the big factor too is just going to be the determining factor of turnovers because both these teams like to rebound the ball well also. So
Sure.
It's going to be able who can possess the basketball just because. Again, Houston wants to muck up the game, but Baylor likes to score. They've got good guard play. So it's really going to boil down to, who can actually keep possession of the ball, who can be efficient on their possessions.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I do like Houston. I'm like you. I love Houston. I like them as a squad. But the problem is you're playing on the road in the Big 12. And I just don't like that. I don't like that for anybody. So let's take a look at what we did last week. Okay, take a look. Okay, Houston, they're 4-3 on the road. They're above 500 on the road. 13-1 at home for Baylor. 13-1. Yeah. They're getting points. I got to ride with Baylor, man, getting the points. And it's not just simply that analysis. I think Baylor's got to bounce back after that loss at BYU. And
yeah, that's fair.
But I'm telling you, Houston, look, Cohen Sampson's always got his team playing well. They're a team that can win on the road because defense travels. But
all their losses have come on the road, Houston. So
that's right.
To your theory here.
Let's try it again.
Yeah.
Let's try it again. Hey, by the way, you can't forget this. That's yours.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, now we're going to go back to, since we trashed Illinois, Illinois is now going to be at home against Iowa. Iowa is a 9.5-point dog on the road. This is 1:15 Central, the game. Look at this total, 173 points. This is the kind of game you want to watch at Four Shadows. Not that I can because I'll be playing volleyball or something. But Illinois is, they were rising and now they hit, they kind of jagged it off, if you will, at Penn State.
Yeah.
Iowa's playing better. I don't like it, but they are. This is a team that's playing better. Can they get within this 9.5? I kind of think so.
You do?
It's a high-scoring game, so maybe it's not as much value as some of these other games, but 9.5? Do you really like Illinois to cover that number?
Yeah, I do. Iowa's 3-7 on the road, and they're 1-4 this year against ranked teams.
Okay.
So they're not going to be able to score enough, I think, to keep up with Illinois. I think Illinois averages like 6 or 7 more points a game than Iowa does. So.
I mean, they can score. Both teams can score. I don't know. I'm gonna go against you here. You're probably right.
I like the Illini.
Yeah,
and they're coming off an embarrassing loss.
Blew it.
Oh,
your guy Shannon, who should probably be in jail.
He's blowing the game. It's horrible.
But I did get to watch them for the first time for extended minutes in that Penn State game. Look, Shannon's a really good ball player. I know he probably should be in jail or something like that or whatever. But he's definitely a good player, and I don't like Hawkins much. I know Iowa's down from what they've typically been, but it seems like a lot of points.
California Penal League. That's where he should be playing.
That's right.
Gotcha.
Ricky Vaughn?
Yeah.
All right. SEC now. Battle of top 25 teams.
Sack.
Alabama at Kentucky. 3 p.m. start on this one. Boy, this is a tight game. 1 point favorite for Kentucky at home. Look at this total. 179.5 points. These teams don't play defense. I'm going to go over that total. I know it seems crazy. Jimmy Wegs, they both got to score 90. Yes, this game could be in the hundreds. These teams just do not play defense. So I'm going to go over that total.
And we're going to feel good about it.
I do feel good about it. I mean, I don't see, I will say Kentucky's played a little bit better defense lately, but Alabama, my God, they can score. They can shoot. And you saw it against Florida. The game was nip and tuck, and they get in overtime. Now, they didn't win like by a ton. They won like by 5 points or something like that. Just stroked that 3. So, I don't know, man. It's tough. I think Alabama's better than Kentucky, a lot better. I don't know. This 1 point seems too short to me. So I would take the point and go with Alabama in this game.
I like Kentucky here. And like the biggest factor for me is when I was looking through the schedules, Alabama hasn't played ranked teams that great. So
usually
they're 2-5 this year against ranked teams, while Kentucky is 3-2 against ranked teams. And two of those 3 victories actually came on the road. So they have an 11-4 home record. The Wildcats do.
Right.
To your point, I don't think there is a total high enough. I think I would. Yeah. I mean, this game could very easily go to overtime.
Yeah, I love it.
And that would be even better for the total. So yeah, I like the over, but I like the Cats. I think they're gonna play well at home. Yeah. Cal Perry's gonna get them fired up. They've got all the talent in the world. They just got to be able to put it together.
Talent.
So
and Alabama's the first place team, so it's a good chance for Kentucky to kind of send a message before the SEC tournament. I don't think they can catch them in the standings. All right, here we go. So I added UConn again. I mean, they've been on every week the last 3 weeks. Nova at UConn. UConn is the number 1 team. I think they'll still be the number 1 team after the loss. And they're kind of a heavy favorite. 12.5 point favorite here. 132.5 point total, which I think seems low. But this Nova team is played methodically. This is what they do. They're not the Jay Wright Nova Cats, but they're playing pretty well lately. I was a naysayer for Nova. I was saying, these teams no good. But they pulled off a couple good wins. But the only problem is UConn lost. So they're going to flip the switch here. So I guess I will lay the wood with UConn at 12.5.
Yeah, Nova's 14-12. I don't know why you're too.
No, look at the last 5-6 games. They're playing good.
Yeah, they're playing great. This is beat down Central. This is going to be embarrassing for Villanova. Like this was the game of the year maybe 4 years ago.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but no, this is a get right game. We don't need it. We don't need to discuss any stats. This is a analytics game. This is going to be a
analytics, huh?
Yeah, this is going to be a beatdown.
Beatdown. Look at this. They won 3 straight. They lost at the buzzer.
They beat Seton Hall, Georgetown, and Butler.
And Providence.
They couldn't even beat Xavier. Xavier's like the worst team in the conference.
Is that factually correct? I don't think that's true. DePaul's the worst team. Xavier's 7-8.
Yeah, they're 13-13 on the season. They're mediocre.
Forget about this. We're talking about league play here.
Come on.
DePaul's 0-15.
Yeah.
Georgetown's 1-14. Those are bad teams.
Come on. No. This is going to be beat down Central.
Look,
UConn.
I'm not disagreeing
UConn by
with
20.
You. By
maybe.
20? You're going to do it all? Nah, don't go that big, guys.
We're going to go all in.
Minus, you're going to take that out 20?
I mean, the 12.5 is definitely, that's a good
Are they going to score? I mean, is Nova going to score in the game?
No.
They're not going to score.
No, it's going to be
122 to 0. So they're going to be under.
Under.
I'm just saying that Nova's playing.
I can't believe
put
this game
better
on the schedule. When I was doing the outline for this, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Villanova against UConn is like.
You're going to be surprised.
I'm going to be surprised. What, by the amount of points that UConn wins by? What am I going to be surprised by?
I'm telling you, it's going to be a better game than you think.
Okay.
But I'm still they're still going to cover the game.
I can't wait to see it.
First half.
We're really looking forward to it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to
it. I'm stoked. I'm beside myself. I'm
fine.
So
I'm going to be at a birthday party. We can't Wolfpack during this, but we'll talk after it.
Yeah, we'll do the Manalytics afterwards.
Manalytics.
Yeah.
I thought it was Cooplytics.
That's like no. That's like when the numbers and data are involved. We don't need numbers and data to know that UConn's going to beat Villanova.
They have to play better than the other night when Creighton shot them out of the gym.
Exactly.
You
get a really good team, you get them pissed off, and they'll, I guarantee you.
I told you they're going to cover the number. I just think it's going to be a better game than you're saying it is.
Oh, no.
Okay.
But how's it going to be a good game if they're going to cover that number?
It's 12.5. Look, these games, 4 or 5 points late, it's going to be like 6-7 points the whole game until the end. Just watch the game.
Okay.
Watch the game.
Right.
All right. Let's skip ahead to Tuesday.
I'll see it.
BYU, Ellie Khalifa's back. And Kansas.
I wonder how his sister's doing. Big fan of her work.
Oh, she's amazing. 7 p.m. Central on Tuesday. I'm showing this Kansas as a short favorite. It'll probably be bigger because people bet Kansas a lot.
That's what she
said.
But
in the metrics, BYU is actually better than Kansas, which is a little bit interesting.
They rebound the ball a lot better.
Total of 140, but they got to go on the road, and we know how that works in the Big 12.
Yeah.
If it's this short of a number, I will go with Kansas. But if it's in that 4.5, 5 range, I probably would take it for BYU.
Maybe they just don't like sea level. Maybe that's what it is.
They like to play up.
They like the elevation. Yeah, maybe that's what it comes down to. But
is Kansas at sea level?
I mean, it's gotta be pretty damn close, right? It's the middle. It's pretty flat in Kansas.
I'm not a geologist.
Yeah, this one's tough for me. I mean, Kansas undefeated at home this year. They're 14-0. They're 7-2 against ranked teams, which they actually have the best record against ranked teams in the country, which is I thought very interesting. And then BYU is 2-5 on the road, and they're 3-3 against AP teams this year. And that's going to be the big thing for BYU when you look at their shooting statistics. A lot of these teams kind of match up. They're very similar. But BYU gets about 8 to 10 more shot attempts per game than Kansas, and that's a lot to do with their rebounding. So if BYU can out-rebound Kansas, more than likely BYU will win. But I don't think
Hunter Dickinson.
I was going to say I think he's going to pose some problems. So I would like Kansas here up to like maybe 5 or 6. Even.
Yeah, like I said, 4.5 is like that. The crest point.
That's what the analytics tell your boy.
Okay, we're not in analytics.
It's going to come down. No, we needed the numbers on this one.
Okay, we use the numbers sometimes.
Yeah.
And then we use what the hell are you talking about? No, doesn't have Jay Wright in those suits anymore.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson's not there anymore, pal.
I mean, they play for the Knicks.
Yeah. Literally all of them. Yeah.
All right, so this weekend ahead, nothing going on for me tonight. Tomorrow, brother's birthday.
Nice.
Happy birthday, Phil.
Yeah, Phil, shout out.
Shout out. I'll play a little volleyball. Got to do a little gift shopping. Go out there, pick up my nephew, get out there, come back, drop him off. Wolfpack. So what's this Wolfpack? What, soberish Saturday night Wolfpack?
Yeah, because one of the Wolfpack can't drink, remember? Because he's on call.
Yeah, that's right.
So sober. I want to at least give a shout out.
I think Lee, maybe we can, I don't want to get him in trouble, but.
Nah, that's okay. We can.
Wolfpack.
He can drive.
Wolfpack.
That's what that means.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So we have a driver. That's what that means.
And what was the game plan? We were going to go to Beauty Bar.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we have
to Steps then Beauty Bar?
I think so, yeah.
I like it.
Which could just be a dangerous combination.
Well, I mean.
Really looking forward to it, though. I'm definitely going to try to sleep in on Saturday.
Somebody tends to sweat in Beauty Bar.
Oh, yeah. Not me, though.
No, not me.
No, that's my alter ego. Sweaty McSweaterton. Yeah.
So that's Saturday. Sunday, busy day. Play some volleyball. 3 hours. I did sign up for 7 a.m. volleyball. I heard about that, right?
No.
Oh, yeah.
You did what?
I'm playing it at Downers at 7 a.m.
You have to leave here at like 5:30.
Oh, no, like 6:15.
Okay.
So I got to eat maybe. I think I should eat before I go play. So,
yeah,
I got to get up at 6. Oh, yeah. Get up at 5:30. Get out there, sweat out the booze, and then come home for a nap. And then taking a young lass out for birthday dinner.
Nice.
A steak dinner.
Steak dinner.
Yeah,
have you picked out where you're going yet?
Yeah, Bavette's.
Okay.
You ever been there?
No.
It's really nice.
Just in case anybody wants to like drop by and say hi to Jimmy Wegs.
Hey, sup? Oh, yeah. If Fumi's listening, it's somebody else.
LOL.
Yeah, no, it's Rashana. She's nice.
Yeah. We're supposed to go golfing Sunday, so that'll be fun.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be pretty warm.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in the 50s.
Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, next week's supposed to be like 67 on Tuesday or something like that.
You going to Robbie Black?
No, we're going to Jackson Park. We're on the south side. So
wide open. You ever played there?
Yeah, we played.
I mean, not that it matters to you. You're going to hit it straight. But me, I can play there all day because I can hit from 3 holes away and still get it over. There's no trees. I mean, there's a few trees, but
yeah, I was gonna say there's a couple holes you really got to actually hit it straight though. I feel
2,
especially like right there in the middle, like 6 and 7. And
yeah,
8,
when you're in the
when you're in the forest, kind of
Yeah,
when you
but
go over the road.
Oh yeah, the road, right
Yeah.
by the road. There's a shorter one by the road, and then there's another one. But yeah, there's the first ones. You're like, whoosh,
Yeah, the first 3.
Jimmy Wegs slice 4. Don't worry, I'm hitting it right back on the green. That's cool.
So that should go really well.
Nice.
Not at all. I'm gonna pick up a club in like 2 months. I'm probably gonna be just like.
What happened to the league? You had
Oh, that ended in December.
That doesn't make sense. It's still cold out.
Yeah, I know. Well, they do like 9-week sessions or 12-week sessions, I think. Or
Locked
something
it in.
along yeah, and I was just Patrick was having a child, so they're having their first kid, and then Greg was getting a puppy, so he wanted to spend more time at home. So I didn't have a team anymore, Cotton, and I was just like, well, there it went.
He got a puppy, or his wife got the puppy?
No, he got a puppy.
Like he just got a puppy for himself?
Yeah, he went all the way down to Houston to get this dog, even. Or maybe it wasn't Houston. Maybe it was just Texas, somewhere in Texas. But yeah, he went all for it was like a poodle mix, I believe.
Like a doodle?
Like I'll have to let me see.
No, it's okay. I'm not. I'm just questioning the situation. Look, dogs are better than cats. If he went down there for a kitten, I'd be really upset.
Yeah, I'm hoping that my sister gets me a Newfoundland for my birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that
was like a poodle. That's
cute dog. Yeah. Sure.
Definitely like
with
a poodle mix. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You want a Newfoundland? Are you gonna live with Caesar with that Newfoundland?
That's the hard part.
That's a big dog.
Yeah. Well, they
Are
become.
dogs allowed?
I think so, but they become
I
big.
think so.
Yeah, they become big. They don't start out big. They become big. It's a grower.
Not a shower.
Correct.
Look, the dog at some point within a year will be like
the size
120, 30 pounds. They're huge, right? Maybe 150 pounds.
Oh yeah. It can, hopefully like 200 if we're lucky.
Oh my God! You gotta get a house or something.
I'd love to have a bear.
Yeah.
Could you imagine having a pet bear on the podcast?
Oh boy.
Awesome.
This is probably better for after pod hours.
Yeah.
Podcast. But anyway, follow us at Side Action Pod on X and Side Action Podcast on Twitter. Follow me at Wegspool on X and on Instagram.
Yeah, be sure to subscribe to the After Pod Hours. You can actually pay premium for that if you want to check out
Premium
wegspool.com. Yeah, check it out.
We'll talk about Ali's sister on there.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, ayo. There's a little sneak peek for those of you at home. But you can check me out. I'm Coop. You can check me on Instagram at Dalton Cooper, on X at Mr. Grumpy Gills. Again, we are the Side Action Pod. Check us out on X and Instagram. Until next week. Oh, may you win every bet. Right?
May you win every single bet.
Every single one of them. Even if you bet against yourself. They will hedge, you know what I'm saying?
Jimmy Hedgerson, you can win both.
Yeah.
You can actually middle it. You bet one side and the other side and the middle.
Make an Oreo of bets. Just creamy in the middle. There it is.
Have a great weekend.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Side Action Podcast. We appreciate all of your listens and thank you for joining us. We'll see you all again next week on Thursday for some more hot picks and side action. Side Action Podcast, its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the show hosts or their guests. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of this podcast, and opinions between talk show hosts may conflict. Individuals following the advice given on the podcast accept their own risk of losses from wagers made. As the Side Action Podcast, its owners, hosts, associates, or guests will not guarantee any advice given. The opinions and advice given on the Side Action Podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Intro and outro and transition music credits. Song titles Jerry 5 and District 4 by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.org. Licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 3.0. creativecommons.org/licenses/by 3.0.